Welcome to the main car. I am your host, Jade, and this is the podcast for textured hairstylists who are ready to grow, thrive, and really change their game. Today, I'm sitting down with Rayven Nicole, who is a force both in the salon and editorial spaces through mentorship and platforms like Texture on Set. Rayven is leaving her mark on the industry and supporting other stylists along the way. So today, we'll be talking about her journey and her advice for the other stylists that are coming up behind her. But let's get into it. Rayven, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you on.
Hello, Jade. How are you? Thank you so much for discovering me and wanting me to be a part of your platform. I am Rayven Nicole. I am an artist in the DMV. I own a salon suite. It's been 10 years for me in this journey. So right now I am doing things like being a freelance editorial stylist in the DMV and traveling to NYC and spreading my wings to other areas. So hello, everyone, and thank you again, Jade.
No, thank you, because I know things are super busy. They always are, especially when you're running your own space, you're doing editorial. To start, it would be great if you could tell us a bit about your journey into the hair industry. How did it all start? How did you get to where you are now?
Okay, so let me tell you all about me. So, I went to Howard University, and through the process, sometimes
Mm.
trying to figure out life, you go through different things. My son, I had him the semester of my junior year. Yeah, so I went
Okay.
back to, yeah, it was amazing. He was the reason why, I'm gonna say, honestly. Like, he was a
Oh.
transition, I will say that. So, trying to figure things out, I went to financial aid. They told me, I owe so much money. So I'm like, okay, so what's a girl to do? So I went down a list of things and I'm like, this is not me. I'm like, dental assistant. I'm like, no, like I can't imagine me putting on scrubs. I mean, like it's not me. We need those people in our lives, but I'm like, this is not who I am. And
Mm.
I always did hair, like growing up. My mom, oh my goodness, she had our house booming in the on like in the summertime, of course, but like on the weekdays, and I would help her. And I did it along the way in high school, like $10 buns, come get your hair done in college. I came home, I did hair, and I'm like, maybe I should follow that because I didn't really enjoy braiding,
Mm.
but I
Okay.
enjoyed everything else, right? So I went to hair school, cosmetology school, and that was a wrap. So that's it. My mom definitely was an inspiration to me.
Oh, I love that. I think this is a running trend because whenever we speak to stylists, there's usually at least one person in the family that's inspired them with hair, or inspired them to kind of just pursue their big dream, which has been hair. So that's like lovely to hear that that was with you and your mum.
Yes. And every little girl, like at some point when we're young, we're playing with baby dolls,
Mm.
we're getting into the hair. We all love hair at some point. Even if we're not good at it, we want to be good at it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that a lot of people can relate to. It's like that one when you really want to be able to do it, but sometimes you're like, you know what, somebody else can do this better than me. So
That's so funny.
I'll rely on them.
Yes. Like everybody has a job.
Yeah, you know what, it's a skill and it's not everyone's skill. I can honestly hand on heart say it's not mine. I love speaking to and working with hairstylists, but God did not bless me in that way.
Right. We need people like you. I love it.
But on that, how did you break into session styling? Because that's completely different and, very far from what people experience in a salon.
Yeah. So that happened. I just always knew I just wanted more. I did a lot working in salon. I purposely went to a predominantly Caucasian hair school because I wanted to be great overall. And
Mm.
I have a cousin. He's in the industry, actually. You actually did an interview with him. His name is Kendall Dorsey.
Oh,
And yeah,
amazing.
and I've, paying attention to like his journey and knowing that it's more than behind the chair and the person that I am. Like I can
Mm.
offer so much more. Like the things that people see in me where I really didn't see in myself. And then one day I just took a step back and was like, wait, like I am going through like a hard transition right now in life, and I absolutely love hairstyling and I love what I do, but I need more.
Mm.
So, Miss Crystal Wright, hi Miss Crystal, I love you. She was my mentor. I reached out to her, and it was actually during COVID. So imagine COVID, right? Everybody's going
Oh.
crazy, and I'm like, I need like a breakthrough. I don't know what it is. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what I need to do, but I know I need help. So
Mm.
I reached out to Miss Crystal, and our consultation was only supposed to be 30 minutes. We talked for like an hour, and I'm like, yeah, like Miss Crystal is the one for me. And I did my
Oh.
program, and I did a one-on-one program, and from there, she literally got me together, and this is where it all started. So Miss
Oh.
Crystal being my mentor and guiding me in the right direction, and that's exactly what I needed.
No, I mean, I think people really do underestimate the power of having the right mentor. It's not just speaking to somebody who's been there, done it, worn the t-shirt, but it's also having somebody who can like really guide you and help you to understand what your first step should be. Because I can imagine having Crystal there was, allowed you to navigate your way through a space that you'd never been in.
Yes, yes. And like think like I had no idea. Like
Mm.
we see these things and we're like, how the heck do I get there? And you start to be like where do it start? Yeah. So it's a blessing, honestly. Just
No,
using
that's
your resources.
mm.
You can't sit. You have to like move. Like you have to get involved, get active, like do the hard work.
Yep. No, that's true. And I mean, once you had gone through that process with Crystal, it'd be good to know like what was the process that you went through with her? She mentored you. What were some of the things that she taught you? And then what was your first gig off the back of it?
Literally, it's not, you have to be together within
Mm.
yourself, right?
Mm.
So it's not just about, oh, I know that I'm good, I have these amazing skills. It's more so
Mm.
like, what are you doing every day? So waking up, like she made sure I woke up at 6 a.m. She made sure I wrote down 3 things every night, that I need to
Mm.
do to cross it off to get to the next point, being a mom.
Mm.
Like those things matter. Those are the important things, like your lifestyle. You can't be great if you're not moving great. So, like, no
Yeah.
matter what you're doing, you have to put in the efforts to not, because hairstyling is a lot, right? Like, we're working
Yeah.
on people heads all day, every day. We're giving our energy to these people. And when we go home, it's like we have nothing. But you
Mm.
have to sit with yourself and make sure your life is together in order to be great and go to the next level. So that was
Yeah.
like one of the most important things that Miss Crystal taught me, because I pour so much into like hair that she like, you got to
Mm.
step back and you got to take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just being organized, making sure you write every resource, that you have, you write it down, you have a book, like you just have all of those things. Um, and know your people. You have to know your people. You have to know where you want to go. It's so many different options and avenues you can take, but like focus on those people in the direction that you want to take. Like, because you could get confused,
Mm.
So that is, Miss Crystal taught me that. And after I got those things together, she actually pushed me to Nahima, which we will get into that.
Ah,
So
okay.
that
Yeah.
was my first, like, okay, like this is real.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's some really good advice and also something that people don't always think about, especially when they're so used to giving. I feel like the hair industry is, especially for stylists, is one where they're constantly giving, 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 pouring, 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 but not often taking the time to really look after themselves. And there's only so much giving you can do when you're not filling up your own tank. and not creating that sense of order and structure for yourself. So I can imagine that that must have had a huge impact once you'd had those conversations with Crystal and applied that to your own life.
For sure. It was more so she was being like, of course, my mentor for hair, but it
Mm.
became like bigger than that, you know, like
Yeah.
personal. It's like, all right, like this is really a thing. Like she actually loved the people, and it's not just business with her, you
Mm.
know. So that's a beautiful thing too.
Yeah. With great mentors, it's always a bit of both, from
Yeah.
my experience anyway. Great
Hmm.
mentors is always, it's always somebody that really cares about, you know, your well-being, your life, making sure that you're not just kind of turning up and working, but you're also turning up and having a fulfilling life too.
Yes,
And I mean, it would be great to know, you know, what were some of the challenges that you faced along the way as you were building your career? Because as much as things like editorial, TV, film, they look very glamorous, but on the inside, it's not, or it's often not. So, what were some of the things that you faced along the way?
some of the challenges I faced. A lot of people. So this is a group thing, right? When you're doing like
Mm.
editorial and stuff, it's a group. So you
Yeah.
have to focus not only like you're good at what you do, but at what you do, but so is everyone else. So
Mm.
you have to be a team player, and some people are not team players,
Right.
but you have to still move with ease. You know, like you learn from those people, you learn from those things. You don't take things too personal. At the end of the day, you
Mm.
understand that this is business. Bring your part, excel in your part, do great in your part. And sometimes, you know, you have to bring it down a little bit. Sometimes what you're doing is not always, you have to change it sometimes, and you have to be okay
Mm.
with that, you know. And sometimes that could be a challenge because you're like, I'm showing up, I'm giving my all. Some people are not, so I had to put a little bit more, or I think I'm giving my all, and this is nothing, this is completely, I got to change it, you know. So
Yeah.
you can't take any of that personal. You just have to keep going because with anything you're building.
Mm.
Yeah, so that definitely was a challenge for me. um Another challenge. What is another challenge that I face crossing over? It's so many different challenges.
I can imagine. I mean, like I said, it's also one of those things when you're getting into it, like it looks glamorous because what you're doing is you're bringing things to life in a way that they couldn't be brought to life without hair and makeup. So
Right,
whether it's like fashion or editorial or a show, you know, you're giving those people their look. And I think that that plays that plays a huge part in bringing either like characters or people to life, and it's not easy. It looks, like I said, very glamorous, but when you get into it, it I think it can be one of the most challenging jobs that people can do.
for sure. Everyone plays a huge part and
Mm.
everyone matter, you know?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, if you kind of think back to one of the first editorials that you did, what was that experience like transitioning into this part of the industry? How did it feel? How did it go?
I actually enjoyed my first experience, but I did realize, and this is like taking back to what I just said, that everyone plays a huge part.
Yeah.
Um, we did, I mean, the hair was absolutely stunning. I did amazing job on the hair. The makeup was good. The model was amazing. The photographer, he didn't really like his work, you know? So we're
Oh.
all like, oh my goodness, where are the photos? Where are the photos? And we realized that we weren't really getting these photos because he wasn't happy with the work. And if the photo is not right, no matter how much we pour into it, if the photographer says no, it's a
Oh,
no.
oh, wow.
And that could be frustrating, right? And from that, you probably, I'm not doing this. It's a waste of time because, of course, you're spending hours, you know, every
Mm,
hours. But it's like, no, you have to keep going because this is good. Like, now we're going to see these photos and, we're going to, what is it? What did we like about this photo, or ask the photographer? And you still have to be open with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Whatever, the photographer, whoever, like, what is it that you didn't like? Because you want to shape it for your next experience to be better.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because
yeah,
we're all in, a lot of times when you're jumping into it, it's new for everyone.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, I guess it's also getting used to the style of the people that you're working with,
Yes.
because that will vary from one person to another, from one photographer to another, from one campaign to another, from one magazine cover to another. So how have you adjusted to that kind of jumping in between different different people to work with, because it is also about kind of creating the style and the look that they envision.
Right. Just being open. Just always be open
Mm.
before we go, to on set to do these editorial shoots. For the most part, we're talking prior, you know.
Right.
So we're learning each other then, and then we have like Instagrams, and we're all playing a part. And I'm not afraid of those mistakes. I feel like if mistakes, that's where you become amazing. There are always
Yeah.
going to be mistakes.
No,
It's
100.
always going to be someone that's not going to be, you know, rocking with the group or on the same page. How do we deal with these people? Because we're
Mm,
always going to be those type of people. So instead of taking those things personally, it's like, okay, this is business.
mm,
So that's normally where it comes in with me. I'm just 100% open, not taking things personal, and learning from every little thing.
yeah. I mean, again, one of those places where it serves you to have thick skin and a short-term memory, because sometimes you just got to get things done.
Yeah, and as while I'm growing, I'm still, like it's still, I know that it's so much more to it. So I'm just
Mm,
like taking steps now, like learning, and it feels great to know that I have so many more projects to do, and
hmm
where I am now and having those amazing mentors, that I'm okay, you know?
hmm No, I mean that's I love that you've kind of taken all of those experiences, like you said, the good and the bad, and said that actually that leads to more growth, because we can't just grow from the good things happening. We can't just grow from all the positives. So what has that experience been like for you?
It has been absolutely amazing. It's a game changer. Naima, I love you so much. I love her. She's more than like a mentor. Naima is like mother. She's like mother mentor. She makes sure that we are all together. She tell us about the things she's been through, to shape us. So we really won't have, although we are going to go through things, but like the proper how to navigate it, you know? So, meeting so many girls from around the world, her bringing us together and just building, having those building blocks. It's just a game changer. It has been life changing for me. And because of her, like she's the reason why I am where I am. Like I always believed in myself, but of course you have to have those people, those mentors, those she was always somebody like I know, she's amazing, right? So imagine like before I was involved like in Miss Crystal, of course I'm looking at Nahima, like she's great. And when Miss Crystal was like, oh, I mentored, I'm like, oh my gosh, she was like, here's her number.
Oh.
But it still took time. But it took like
Mm,
3 years. But that is not giving up on yourself, not giving up on your dreams, right?
yeah,
Being patient.
a hundred
And it took
percent.
me and I'm still going. Yeah. So I couldn't thank Nate. It's just been an amazing journey for me. The program has been going on for like 2 years now.
Wow.
And Yeah, so much has changed in my life, in my hair career. So major blessings. And
And I
shout out
mean,
to Texture on set and Blake on set because it's doing nothing but going up.
yeah, I mean, I think the one of the most amazing things is seeing how it has really helped to change the industry, but then also how much it's influenced other people, how much it's influenced other stylists, how much it's helped other stylists to feel more more confident in what they do. Because whenever I speak to, we've spoken to a few stylists who have been mentored by Naima, and I think the most beautiful thing is that how many positive and wonderful things that they have to say about the work that she's doing, that she's been doing.
Absolutely. And of course she tell us about her journey and how it was like back then. It was so much
Mhm.
gatekeeping, and although it is today, like now it's thank God for like people like her, it's more open.
Yep.
So and those are the things that we need. The industry, I mean, it's not always like a nice place. People aren't nice. Like you're with fabulous people, like fabulous people. It's like you can't sit next to me. You know how that is. So you have to
Mhm.
extra hard, and to have those people who like still believe in giving other people opportunities, because it's still people with amazing skills that have to come up. Like eventually the great, they're still great, but they become iconic, and you have to have more people,
Yep.
come up that are great too, and to have those people to actually see and give that opportunity is just amazing. I mean, we're in rums with Chucky and Tabitha. These are people that I was looking at on TV as a little girl. I
Yeah.
never thought in a million years I would be in a room with them or be able to hug them or talk to them or ask them questions, So it has been absolutely amazing.
I can imagine. And also just being mentored and supported by somebody who not only genuinely cares,
Mm-hmm.
but is taking the time to really open one of the most challenging doors to open for other people.
Right. And not and to continuously do it. Like you could do
Hmm.
it and then be like, all right, I'm done. I did my little part. But to actually like love us and care, like yeah. She's mother. That's what I like to call her.
Oh, I think that's a really lovely thing to hear. And I mean, for other stylists who have seen the work of texture on set, but they may not have been involved themselves, what would you say for those who have kind of considered trying to take part and join the mentorship program?
Don't stop. Follow us. Reach out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be I know that it's gonna be so much more to it, and so many opportunities that we're gonna have.
Hmm.
So just don't stop. Honestly, I didn't stop, so I don't think anyone else should stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's gonna take some time, but you have to be patient. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, given that it's such, like I say, given that the industry itself is challenging and a lot of people try to get in, not everybody succeeds, which, that happens. But what what is the mistake, or what are the mistakes that you see a lot of stylists making as they're trying to step into the industry, and how can they avoid it?
I'm gonna jump back to know what you want to do.
Mm.
It's several different things. Like you have TV, you have film, you have runway, you have editorial.
Yeah.
Know what you want to do. Research that and stick to it.
Mm.
So if you have to like when you're doing photos, focus on what you want to do so you can
Yeah.
build up your portfolio. So when it's time or when you have that opportunity, everything is already there for you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You could just send it over. And even though you're not all the way there, you really don't know what it take. At least when you're presenting it, it's like, okay,
Hmm.
this. you're on the right track.
Yep.
So I would say to do that because like I had no idea, right? So
Okay.
I was just completely like confused and I was like going crazy like what am I supposed to do? So I automatically just reached out and did the whole mentoring thing. Also, when you see those people doing the things that you like to do, reach
Mm-hmm.
out to them. Don't be afraid. I was afraid to reach out, you know. I probably reached out to probably two people and didn't get anything and I was just felt like my life was over.
Oh.
But in the process, you know, of going through my mentoring and Miss Crystal, I'm like, well, how many times am I supposed to reach out? How this is she like absolutely not. If you want it, you go for it. It's no such thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would say that.
Okay. No, I that's really good to hear because again, I feel that it's that follow up and that how many times do you chase until you stop? That's definitely something that a lot of people feel. It makes people feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a lot of the time because people get the sense that they're bugging someone. And it's like I don't want to be that person that's in their inbox all that time.
But
So I do hear that, and it's good for people to hear from somebody that's been through it. That
yeah.
actually pushing through, and like Crystal said, if you want to get it, then go after it. It's totally fine to follow up as many times as you need to.
Yes, yes, yes. Cause listen, we're all as artists, we're all getting it. Like
Mm,
it's a hustle for everyone, no matter where you are, right? So we
yeah.
gotta keep moving. It's someone that you're looking at like OMG, like I want to be there. And they're also looking at somebody else like I want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to keep going. Be
Uh,
resourceful, not be afraid to reach out, start building so you can be prepared.
yeah. No,
Mhm.
that all makes sense. And I mean, saying that, how how do you stay grounded and inspired when you're balancing the high pressure shoots with also client work and,
Mhm.
you know, seeing people one on one.
That has been very hard for me because it's been plenty of times where I'm like, I am done. Like I'm quitting every day, right? But it's also been long. It's been a 10-year stretch for me. So I had to find
Mm,
a balance within again, giving myself days, right? So if
mm-hmm.
I'm working my tail off in the salon, I know at some point I need to just like rest. And resting for me is meditating. I listen to Laundrell a lot. I listen to
Okay.
Laundrell is amazing. You know, he centers my mind. I'm really like a spiritual person, so I need
Mm,
those practices to keep me grounded and keep me going. I'm always in my Bible. I'm reading scriptures all the time, and that worked for me. You know, like having that attachment. You know, like God, like Jesus. Like
mm-hmm.
you can't. Honestly, you can't stop. You have to keep going. It's
Mm,
no letting up. So even when you're tired, you just take a pivot, you rest a little bit, but you have to get back to it.
yeah.
So, and another thing I've realized over the years is not pouring my energy where is not needed. Like a lot of things are going on. Like of course we're popular people. We're around so many people. There're gonna be events. There're gonna be parties.
Yeah.
People want us around. We can't go to everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the times I always thought, oh, I have to go, I have to go, I have to
Mm-hmm.
keep this image. You know, people have to like, I'm a hairstylist, but it's like no, like if I'm
Mm,
giving my energy to these people and these parties, where yeah, it's cool, but how many? You know, like
mm,
step back and your business matter because being an entrepreneur and some people work in salons and right now you know the new thing is to have a salon suite. You still have to pour into your business how you were pour how someone else when you were working for someone else how
yeah.
you're pouring into their business and that becomes hard.
Yeah.
hmm so that's how I stay grounded, honestly.
I mean, again, it's really good to hear the kind of the practical things that you do because, again, I think that it's very easy for stylists to get very caught up in the doing
hmm
because there's so much to do. and then to not take a moment to pause and be like, oh, how do I actually handle this situation? This is intense, or there's a lot going on. And just figuring out how to better manage their time and their energy, because you can't be everything to everyone, and you certainly can't be everywhere at the same time. So you do
Exactly.
get to a point where you have to be selective.
Yes.
And
It's a process.
it's a process, and it's also learning how to say, some people's favorite word, which is no.
Yes. Especially when you're an extrovert, right?
Yeah. It's really easy to just say yes when you're super extroverted, and I think it's good to hear that that's a way that you've also had to manage your time and your energy. Again, it helps for the people who are listening, who are either going through it or want to go through this process, so that they're prepared before they get there. And I mean, you're not just styling, you have your own hairline. So what's also inspired you to do this, and how did you start that side of the business?
So, top tier extensions. Actually, top tier. Okay, so I realized a lot of my life, I did a lot of things during COVID. COVID
Hmm.
took a hard turn for me because my mind was all over the place. And I knew, I was like advancing. And COVID is when I was like, okay, like Raven, you're doing absolute amazing
Hmm.
working on your own, right? I was like building a lot, clientele, um, retention. It was like great. So I'm like, I need to do something. And it
Mm,
was my best friend, and this was in this was in 2017, so it was before COVID. I was
yeah.
trying to figure it out, and I was like, all right, well, hair extensions, like this is like the thing, because I was following like the girls who had the hair salon, like Ming Lee and April Diva Styles, and the hair extensions definitely was like bringing in the money. So I left Upper Echelon, but Upper Echelon was a salon in DC, and I'm like, I can't have that name because
Mm,
it's going to clash if somebody was to put it in. No, don't go there. And they were selling hair extensions too.
yeah.
So I was like, what? I wanted to be upper echelon because, I like it, like luxury.
Yeah.
So I was so, putting it in, and it was like tier was a synonym. I'm like, okay, tier.
Yeah.
So I was like, top tier, top tier. And then during COVID, that was cool. And it was kind of hard for me because I wanted great hair, right? And of course, during
Yeah.
that time in 2017, the only great hair you heard was Indian, Indian, Indian. And I
Mm.
got into like the Indian trade market, and I was getting all of this hair. And I'm like, Indian hair is amazing, but it's a lot the clients have to do to keep it up, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to do a lot. You have to treat Indian hair like your hair. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Where
okay.
when clients have extensions, they normally want to have extensions because they don't have to do much to it.
Yeah.
And the clientele that I had, they didn't want to do that much to hair, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I realized Brazilian, like the blue rubber band Brazilian hair was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then discovering that, I'm like, okay, I wanted to kind of be different. And I'm like, I know it's better. I know it's better.
Mm.
Cambodian hair, I realized Cambodian hair is a mix of Brazilian hair and Indian hair together. It's
Okay.
very dense in texture, and it's matte, and it still give you that natural feel,
Mm.
still being like very lustrous and very. It's just something about Cambodian that I love, and I knew from my clients, why not have your clients come to you to get their hair,
Mm.
right? Like sending them all over the place. It's like I have everything here. So that was how I broke into selling hair extensions. And then I took a break. I kind of took a break, but
Right.
I am pouring back into that again. It's so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your business, your clients. I'm breaking into like the editorial world, traveling, doing things. So now I'm about to pour back into that. So that's how I got started in the extension line. And I feel like if you are doing extensions, if you are a stylist, just even it doesn't have to be like a big investment,
Right.
but definitely get extensions because you're going to send them somewhere else. Like, why not? You know what you want, you know what type of hair you like, like just get some extensions, and and honestly, it's a game changer when it comes to money. Being a
Yeah.
hairstylist, we working. Sometimes we feel like we're overworked and underpaid. Getting extensions, everything is right there. Why not?
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. And I think there are a lot more stylists now who are kind of combining their skill with having some kind of product as well. And
Yes,
it's it's one of those things where your clients already trust you. So by extension, they would probably at least trial a product that you have. And you then have like your first set of people that are ready to advocate and spread the word for you because you've done the work in building the relationship before it gets to the point that they're buying. Um,
exactly.
and it just makes so much sense. Like financially, it's almost like it's residual income because you just have that money coming in bit by bit by bit whenever people buy the extensions.
Yes. So much, so much, so much that we can do. And that's another thing. I feel like we work so much where it sometimes don't make sense, right? But when we
Mm,
take a step back and be like, okay, and just like write everything down, and instead of like doing like the hustle part of it, be like, okay, this is a business too.
mm, mm,
Yeah. And it becomes easier for us.
no. Yes, it is. It is easy, but then also, I think it can add a bit more joy into it when you're creating something alongside that as well. You know, you have a product, you're able to, you've gone through that whole experience of saying, I've been through these different types of hair, and I know that this is the better option for my clients, and I imagine that's kind of an enjoyable thing to go through as well to have that experience.
Yeah, especially when it's a passion.
Mm, no, 100%. And I mean, given all that you've experienced, what is your one piece of business advice for any stylist who wants to go independent and work for themselves?
I actually have, I'm going to say two things.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, don't be assist. Like, never be afraid to assist and make sure you take those classes because
Mm,
no matter where you are, never be afraid to hand someone a comb. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
are always learning. It's always something that you can grow from, that you can add on to your skills to be the best that you can be.
yeah.
I know being a hairstylist, it's a lot of egos in the way, and let that go and just never be afraid to assess. Like, I feel like
Mm.
a lot of us, like it's like I'm a hair. I don't need that. Like, no, you do. Like we all do.
No, I love that.
And
And I mean,
I'm
assisting,
listening.
no, I was going to say, assisting is something I think, like you said, it's necessary. Maybe it's when people feel like they've been assisting for too long, but then I guess at all parts of your career, you could assist with somebody who you've almost looked up to and dreamed of working alongside. Would you say no just because you've kind of gone past that stage in your career? I would argue a lot of people wouldn't.
And all my next thing would be, don't just build a clientele, build a brand,
Yes.
because the market is definitely crowded. Skills are amazing, but sometimes it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, stand out, stand in your uniqueness, your style, your vibe. You know what I'm saying? That adds on, like, the customers, like the clients, they want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Build those relationships. Like, it's not just a business. Like, you're not just doing hair. Like, every stylist has something unique about them. So like, show that brand, and that is that you pour all of that into your brand, because your personal brand is
Mm,
who you are. So you're going to attract your people,
yeah.
so like make sure you pour into that, so it won't seem like you just have these skills and you're just doing hair. Like
Yeah.
you're yourself. Like, my people love me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, that's really important to remember because when you have a brand, like you said, that's how people get to know you. That's how people remember you.
Yes.
That's the thing that is unique to you, and you all have your little tribe of people at the end of it, and they're the ones that will come back and support you and provide you with the support that you need along the way, which I think is super important. How have you gone about building your brand?
How do I go about building it?
Yeah.
Just stepping into my true powers, honestly. Literally just being me. I mean, like, it's been 10 years and I had a lot of experiences that I didn't like, and a lot of
Mm,
experiences that I love. So because of that, because I did the assisting,
yeah.
I worked in several different salons, I built those relationships. So like now I know like what I want. I know who I am as a
Mm,
stylist to build from that in my brand. So it's just been me just being me, like literally taking those things that I've learned, pouring it in, realizing when I'm like, all right, Raven, like you need to snap back. You need to get it to,
mm,
you've fallen off a little bit. But because I've been through so much, in the hair world, I still have those resources that I talk about all the time, like writing things down. I have
mhm.
everything to like gather to pick myself back up. You know what I'm saying? To know where I want to go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I say, it's an important thing to do, especially in this day and age where everything is about authenticity, but then also it's about being kind of as present as you can be so that people can feel some kind of connection with you even if they haven't met you.
Yes.
That's one of the many powers of social media and other channels. um but a bit more of a creative question. So if you could run your dream project with a brand, an artist, a show, what would it look like and who would be involved?
Ask me one more time.
No, that's okay. So, if you could create your dream project, either with a brand, an artist, a show, what would it look like and who would be involved?
My dream project would be, so coming up, I've always been into like modeling. I did like my aunt, she did shoes. My aunt and my mom,
Oh,
they were like the
amazing.
it girls. Yeah, they did like the hair, the fashion shows in our town. Um, and I always at one point thought I was like gonna be a model.
Mm.
So I would do a hair show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would want to do a hair show, and I would honestly want to involve my aunt, my mom.
Oh.
I would, and like a lot of people that I look up to. Of course, I would have Nahima a part of my show. I
Mm.
love, um, I feel like she would just be there, like she would just be guiding me, like, Raven, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I don't know if I would want it to be in like my bring it back to like my hometown
Right.
after I've done a lot. Like just give me like a couple of years so I could make my name, and then
Mm.
I just come home and for it to be big, to let my people know at home, like to never give up.
Mm.
Like you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah. No, I think that's really sweet that you would do that with your mom and your aunt. I think that's
Yeah, because I want to bring it back to like to the roots,
yeah.
like my like people, like because out of all the people, I feel like they inspire me the most.
Mm,
So I would want to show them like,
show them that appreciation.
because I don't know, like they know, like I'm pretty sure they see it, like oh, like Raven, like she take after me, I shaped her, but I never really sat there and like told them like you
Mm.
inspired me.
Oh, well, hopefully they get to listen to this and they'll hear you say
They will. I'm gonna send it in the family group message.
it. Well, I can't wait for them to hear that. And you can tell us what their reaction was after. But I mean, our final question. So, I can only imagine how many projects you've been involved in, must have been involved in, but what is next for you? What's the next big thing?
Alrighty. So within my 10 years, it's been 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. I need to do like my own photo shoot or something. Like I'm ready about shooting everybody else. I need to do a photo shoot. Um, I am now a Mizani educator.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's my new journey and I'm excited. I can't wait to pour into it. I know it's so much that they're going to teach me. It's so much that I have to learn. Um, and this is just a door for me that God opened from closing a lot of other doors. And I don't know what to expect, but I know that it's going to be great. Working
Mm.
with Evie and Tippy and Jamal, and it's just Ashley, Al. It's my new family.
Oh,
So yeah, that's where I am right now.
okay. Well, I mean, that is again amazing to hear because it's not a given that you have an opportunity to be an educator for a brand. Um, Especially one like Mizani. There's a lot of hair care products out there, and I think we all know that there's some incredible ones and some not so great ones. So it's always great to be connected with the ones that have really done the job. Um,
Yes, you always want to connect and work with a brand that you trust. Right? I always
yes.
love Mizani. It always worked for me and my clients. So just doing that and being able is the best part for me. Being able, and with that, I still have to work on my brand. Because I'm still a brand within myself, and
Mm-hmm.
they come along with that editorial. So it's just getting better.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
getting
that.
better.
And I mean, we will also have links to Raven's socials so everybody can follow along the journey as well. Um, I mean, it's amazing to hear how much you've achieved and what you've done, the people who have inspired you, kind of your next step. So, just a huge thank you, Raven, for coming on today and sharing all of that with us and with our community, because I feel like there's plenty of people that would have taken a lot away from today's talk.
Yes, listen, I am just a normal girl who's stepping into to her true powers. Don't give up. Patience is key. And just
Mm,
you got to do. Just do whatever it is that you have to do. Just center yourself, full alignment, and whatever you feel like is yours, you're going to get.
yeah, you have to be prepared to say it and believe it, because there's nothing good that comes from doubting yourself. Uh,
Yeah.
and the industry is big enough for everybody to win. So, one person doing well won't stop you from doing well.
Yes. you
Yeah,
learn. You learn from those people.
100%. You learn from them. And I think there's also a big thing of saying everybody's time will come. And that happens at different times. So, where somebody is now, again, doesn't reflect on the fact that you can't be in a better position in time.
Exactly. Everything is written. You don't have those feelings for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. When something is on your heart, it's there for a reason, and it's just giving yourself the time and grace to get there.
Exactly.
But no, again, thank you so much, Raven, and also a huge thank you to everybody who's listened all the way through. We really appreciate everybody who's a part of our community. And you know, if this conversation has helped you, then please like, share, comment. The more that we do that, the more we can reach other people who will be able to learn from the amazing stylists that we interview on the podcast as well. So again, Raven, a huge thank you. Thank you for giving us some of your time today.
Thank you so much, Jade. And when I come to the UK for the first time, I'm like, Jade, I'm here.
No, please tell me, please. I've actually had a couple of the stylists that we've interviewed when they've come by in London and I've been able to see them. So, yeah, I'll be super excited. And there's always loads of really fun things to do and great places to eat.
For sure. I absolutely love this. Thank you. I love like just speaking, like just speaking things, just coming from the heart, just not having to think about it. It's a
Mm,
beautiful thing.
no,
Yeah.
it is. But thank you so much, Raven. And again, thank you to our audience. And we will see you or you will hear us on the next episode.
Yes. Peace out. Thank you so much.